So Tesla Autopilot is not really autopilot. Fun fact, I owned a Model 3 from 2019 up until the summer of 2024 for a lot of reasons, and it amazes me that over the course of owning that car, it went from having the best full self-driving technology to literally the worst. And I'm not exaggerating, a Ram truck has a better adaptive cruise control system than a Tesla, which you would not expect. They also removed the gear selector and the turn signal stock on the most recent Tesla models, which is just stupid. Most people who bought a Tesla put up with the fact that there wasn't buttons. They didn't buy it because it didn't have buttons. And I have a whole bunch of other personal gripes with the car and the CEO Elon Musk, because let's be honest, most of the bad decisions of Tesla were his fault directly. And also, yes, I do not like Elon Musk because of his garbage opinions. Frankly, he's a propaganda machine. And if that statement triggered some kind of visceral reaction inside of you, it's too late for you. You drank the Kool-Aid, bud. But if his cars were actually full self-driving, I think a lot of people would hate Elon Musk a lot less. I'm just saying. Because really, it's his failed promises that make people hate him and Tesla. Because if you look at the track record, it's really bad. Not to say that Tesla was especially prestigious or anything. Personally, I felt like Tesla cars were a mix between an American muscle car and a Prius, because these definitely aren't luxury cars in my eyes. Like a Toyota Camry has a better interior than half these cars. Like a Model S Plaid is a luxury car in the same way a CANT is a luxury car. The car puts down stupid amounts of power. That's what you're paying for. You're not paying for the interior, because if you were, you'd be scammed. The biggest difference is the Model S runs on electricity. It doesn't make cool noises. But the CANT and the Model S Plaid are selling the same thing. It's just horsepower. I know gearheads don't like EVs, and I understand why, but I like power, and the Model 3 had power. I am that weird car shopper that sees an EV and a gas guzzler and goes, huh, these are both potential options. But the thing that Tesla tried to separate themselves with was software, namely full self-driving and autopilot. And both of these things suck because they're designed to cut corners, not be the best at what they do. If Teslas were designed to be the best at what they do, they'd look more like Waymo cars, because those are actually the best at what they do currently. Because even though those cars look really stupid and get stopped by traffic cones, at least they stop. You can also get in the back of a Waymo and it actually just drives you around. You can't do that in a Tesla because it's unsafe. And I'm not trying to glaze Waymo here, because honestly, I don't care about full self-driving anymore anyways. I was never that into it, to be honest with you. I just liked horsepower, but I did used to think that they were more of a possibility. Nowadays, I think they're actually kind of impossible, because currently, I think if we want full self-driving cars, we have to change the road design first and then make self-driving cars. I don't think we can have it in the current roads, especially since the lane markings are so wildly inconsistent state by state. And on top of that, road quality also varies a lot state by state. I've driven a lot. These are all the states I've driven through and driven around. The road quality within these states alone is drastically different. Sometimes the back roads are perfect, sometimes there's no lines at all. The road quality in the US just varies too much to have any of these systems actually work. Like if Tesla or anyone wants to make full self-driving, they have to fix the problem where half the country's roads are in pristine condition and the other half are in disrepair. Because if a Tesla loses lane markings, it will try and kill you. And there is no shortage of dashcam video revealing that Autopilot doesn't know how to respond to any complex situation at all. Like, yeah, if you're going in a straight line or whatever, it's perfect, okay? But if it has to do anything out of the norm, it is going to have problems. It has been multiple years since Autopilot has released, and it is worse than it has ever been. And it's mainly because they removed the sensors. It's actually so unbelievably stupid. Like, if you own a Tesla and you wonder why it phantom brakes, it's directly Elon Musk's fault for disabling your sensors. Since cameras suck, especially at night, if it thinks it sees anything out of safety, it slams on its brakes. And literally, if it just had sensors, it wouldn't do that, because it'd be like, oh, there's nothing in front of me. We can keep going. That's all it needs. That's all it literally needs. The Waymo car might look stupid, but it's a way better system than Tesla because it has redundancy, okay? And having driven other newer cars and talking to people who own these newer cars, their adaptive cruise control and lane keep systems are just way better. Tesla actually sucks. Because you wanna know what the other car manufacturers did that Tesla didn't do? They kept their sensors because they're not stupid. Like, I don't know how Elon Musk sleeps at night knowing that Autopilot is an utter embarrassment compared to legacy automakers. Like, bro, Ford's beating you. Like, really? And Tesla's built in this idea that it's like a tech-focused car, but their tech wants to drive you into a lake. And by the way, if you manage to survive that fall into the lake, good luck getting out of the car. There's also numerous cases of Autopilot being responsible for a crash that a person would have been able to react to at the very least, you know, instead of just driving straight into the object in front of them. And I understand that there's heavy blame put on the people operating these cars when they crash. Because frankly, yes, you should have been paying attention. Whenever I drove with Autopilot on, dude, I had my hand on the wheel. I did not trust it at all. But I think that's just the wrong approach. Like, I never trusted Autopilot. I was always extremely skeptical because the visualizer never visualized everything properly. That should be a red flag to anyone in any car. If it's visualizing the place around you and it's not showing you things, that's bad. That's really bad. But I'm interested in technology. I look into this stuff for fun. So I already knew the system had its limitations, but I was definitely led to believe that it was better than it was. So an average person who was told about about full self-driving cars their entire life being a thing eventually would see Autopilot and say, oh, finally, the thing I was promised my entire life is here. And I don't blame them for thinking that, because that's what they kept saying. If an average person bought a Tesla thinking they're cool, thinking they might hit full self-driving or will eventually, which is really not an unfair expectation because Tesla called these things Autopilot and full self-driving. Both of these names imply it does it all by itself. And on top of all that, Tesla literally uploaded videos that were proven to be fake. Like, these are fake videos. None of these are real. If after promising full self-driving for 10 years or whatever it's been, and Tesla still can't figure it out, it's not gonna happen, especially since the Wall Street Journal put together a very good report on Tesla's Autopilot crashes. They managed to piece together 222 crashes with Autopilot at 1,000 so far, and out of those 222 crashes, 44 of them were the result of Autopilot veering suddenly, and 31 occurred when Autopilot just didn't stop. And you might be wondering what I meant when I said piecing together the crashes. Well, Tesla tried to circumvent a regulation for Autopilot that made it mandatory to report level 2 autonomy crashes. They claimed all the technology was proprietary, so they just didn't fill out the form, basically. So since all their information was hidden, the Wall Street Journal pieced together the crashes using the date and times in public records as much as they possibly could, which is not only horrible, but also kind of funny because Tesla, no one wants your camera systems, they suck, okay? No one cares your tech's proprietary, it's bad. And I know I've been using Autopilot and full self-driving interchangeably. Tesla says they're different things, but they're basically the same thing. Autopilot is only allowed to gamble with your life on highways. Full self-driving is allowed to gamble with your life anywhere. That's the big difference with those two. And if you don't believe me, even in a stream with Elon Musk driving the car, it tried to run a red light.
Oh, intervention, sorry.
The CEO of the company couldn't make his stupid car work perfectly for a day. This thing's a joke. Autopilot and full self-driving are just not good. This isn't even just my opinion. This is like a collective opinion of Tesla fans at this point. Honestly, I feel like most people who defend Tesla now are just people who own the stock and never own the car. And the stock, in my opinion, is overvalued because Tesla makes literally nothing. Tesla solar roofs, where are those? Tesla bot, this thing's never gonna release. Full self-driving, that one's next year. Okay, watch out for that one. But most of Tesla's products don't exist. They're all vaporware. And again, I am open to being wrong, okay? I would love for Tesla to actually make full self-driving, but they can't do it. It would be better if companies just did the things they said they would do. But Tesla's track record is like 90% lies. And before you go watch a video of someone showing off full self-driving, keep in mind, it has been revealed that Tesla has spent extra time tweaking routes that YouTubers use for full self-driving. So if you watch a video of someone testing full self-driving and they're a larger channel, the chances are Tesla has made their route specifically better to show off the software to make it look better than it actually is. And this is all without the YouTubers knowing, by the way. They don't know this is happening in the background. So all these YouTubers who bought Teslas with their own money because they like the car were allegedly having their full self-driving improved without their knowledge, so the cars look better on video. And seriously, don't blame the YouTubers. There was genuinely no way they could know any of this. They still can't really know for sure because the people who run these channels bought the cars themselves and just really liked the technology. And they also paid for full self-driving, which was really expensive. All the money they spent on these cars was their own. They did everything they were supposed to get an unbiased opinion of a product. And Tesla still made it biased. And I especially hate this because these people are obviously just passionate about the Tesla and the software in general. They're just really excited about it. And Tesla took advantage of that and used them to manipulate people because that's exactly what this is, assuming it's true. But that's been the video. And if you want to watch a video where we look at Tesla Autopilot crashes, here you go. It's on the end screens now. And thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and have a good one.